And we're trying to sensitize the public about track and field and the importance of why we need our young people to be involved in track and field because of all the benefits that comes with track and field. Now, even though we're speaking about track and field, it's not necessarily mean that everybody should do track and field, but we need our kids to be rounded and molded. So there is several extracurriculum activities. There is soccer, swimming, badminton, lawn tennis, draft, chess, so many different disciplines of sports. So we're trying to sensitize the public and Guyana about the importance of our athletes being, our children being rounded athletes. Because every time we talk about sports, parents believe that their kids should be in their books, which there is nothing wrong with that. But that's outdated because every part of the world, all of the kids them have to be taking part in extracurricular activities. Now, studies have shown that children that take part in extracurricular activities excel academically. While there's a notion in Guyana that when you run up and down, you lose your senses. That is something that we grew up hearing. So those things are not true because as we can see, we have a lot of athletes that would have left these shores and went overseas. And some of them were not that great academically, but because they take part in extracurricular activities in the United States and the world, you find that they're graduated with their master's, bachelor's degree, and all these things. So we're just trying to let the people know that we need our children to take part in extracurricular activities and all the benefits that comes with it. Now here in Guyana, we need the parents on board. We need a lot of parents to support their children when it comes towards sports. We need everybody on board. We need a private sector. Now, there's a lot of emails that would have been sent out to a lot of private sectors from the Kmpa Foundation seeking sponsorship for the 2020 games because we're looking to mold athletes for the future. So we want the sponsors to know that the KMP is real. We're here, we're a functioning organization, and we have a structure in place with the CEO, the vice president. We have all the other members listed coming down, Secretary Lorian Adams, a former national athlete. And we're just here to let the public know what we have achieved over the past 12 months. Now, for the past 12 months, the KMPA would have hosted its annual Junior Olympic Games, which is the third in this country. 2017 was the first one, 2018 the second one, and last year, 2019, was the third one. The first one was the end at Boxing Community Center ground where a long jump pit was dug there. The second one and the third one would have held at Luziknan Community Center ground, in which we are trying to develop into a 400-meter track. And that will be the only 400-meter track on the east coast of Demerara. Now, the vision of this, of Luziknan Community Center ground, is to have an all-weather, shot put, discus, javelin run-up, and also put the long jump run-up and triple jump run-up all-weather. We'll be converting the track from a 300 to a 400 meter. It was already excavated. And I want to say a special thank you to the Public Works, Patterson and his team, the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Erskine, and also Mr. Kester for supporting us. They will be providing us with sand to fill up the ground, and so that we can actually get a full 400-meter track on the east coast of Demerara. Now, the people want to know why Luziknan ground. Now, Luziknan ground is the only ground that have the space to put all of these areas in on the east coast. There's a lot of grounds, yes, but they cannot get a 400-meter track. That's one. They don't have the space to erect stands. You don't have the space to put a shot put area, a long jump area, a discus area without interfering with the track meet. So that's the reason for the choice of the Lusignan ground. Also, the Lusignan ground is also well maintained. So we're calling on sponsors because we want to develop this ground on the East Coast into a multi-purpose facility where the children can, in the afternoon, instead everybody got to go over to Lenora and come to Georgetown, they can actually train on the East Coast because the East Coast have a big population, and it will cut out all the expense to pay to go over to Lenora, and it will also assist all of the children that are in school so that they can have regular practice at that ground. Now, we're working with the Ministry of Education, thanks to Marcel Hudson, because he have created a lot of stuff that was never there before. With the permission of Marcel Hudson, after speaking to him, he's done a wonderful job. One, all the schools in Guyana can participate at the pen relays. They just have to go through the Ministry of Education. Without Mr. Marcel Hudson, this could have never been possible. The children are much more involved in sports. We got permission to get their transcript, and recruiters start looking at athletes from Guyana. All of that is under the stewardship of Mr. Marcel Hudson. Speaking to Mr. Marcel Hudson, he was a person that could have sit down and speak to him, and he would listen, and then he would act afterwards. Sometimes it would be a little slow, but he definitely act. So right now, all the schools in Guyana can go online at the Pen Relays website and register. All they need is a permission slip from the parents and the permission from the Ministry of Education, from the office. Submit the names of the athletes that will be going to the Pen Relays, and that's a done deal. There's nobody else to come from the US say that they can take you there. Everybody will go under the school. The teachers can accompany the children, and they deal directly with the Pen Relays Foundation. Also, I have a list in front of me of some athletes that are shortlisted for the New Balance Nationals. Sian Booker, Blade Noel, Renetta Duncan, Bijval, Anissa Gibbons, Bijval, Akela Hetley, Blade Noel, Anissa Haywood, President's College, Gabriel Lynn, President's College, Michaela Nanan, President's College, Hannah Reed, President's College, and Jesse Thomas, President's College. Now, these are some of the children that were shortlisted for the New Balance Nationals, where the organizers from New Balance Nationals saw these athletes' results from the previous nationals and last year nationals and the year before nationals, and I've shortlisted these athletes' names to with the help of the Region 4 Red Miss Harvey, to select this team to go to the US to compete at the New Balance High School. Now, why the New Balance High School Nationals? Now, all of the athletes that would have gone to the Olympics from the US would have competed at the New Balance Nationals. So this is just one of the hype meet that all high school athletes compete at, that give them that break to go on to college, and for sponsors to seek them like Nike, Adidas, and so on, to see the young talent from early and start grooming them. So this is one of the avenues that we want our athletes, because we need we need more Olympic medals. We only have one Olympic medal, and that Olympic medal came from boxing way back in the days from Michael Paris. Very good person.
If I may, the New Balance meet, what should I say, it's very eye-opening. So athletes would travel, go overseas and run, but at the New Balance meet, they will be competing against their counterparts, and they'll know where they stand in America, in the world. They'll know the timings and how to improve their training, because the level of competition that they will meet there is like no other. So like when they come back to Guyana, they will know what to do, where to focus on, what is best for them as athletes. So moving forward, they can improve and in turn bring a gold medal for Guyana in the future.
Well, just as Shaki said, it's just as it is, because he was there last year to witness the competition. with the New Balance Nationals. It's a great avenue for our local athletes to start from, and I really want to see Siam Booker against these athletes, high school peers, because as a freshman, he's supposed to do wonders, and I really want to see him compete. And likewise, all the other athletes. This young lady, Anissa Gibbons, the javelin thrower, I really want to see her with the shot put on the discus against her peers in high school, because that, whatever results comes out there, it would put her in the world ranking for high schools around the world and in the nation of the United States of America. So these are the opportunities of the doors that the KMP have opened for our local athletes. So we're going through the Ministry of Education. Everything is through the Ministry of Education. I must say thanks to Ms. Barker King from the Allied Department and all of our staff. I mean, Ms. Barker King is a wonderful woman. I came, I sat down with her, but one thing I admire her for, I had to come with a comprehensive plan to Ms. Barker King. And I have to show her why the plan will work, why would it benefit our athletes. And I must thank Ms. Barker King from the Allied Department for the wonderful work that she has done. So I have to go to the show her every plan that I have to convince her that what I'm doing will benefit our local athletes, and it's top priority, because her concern was how would it benefit our local athletes. We also have from nationals also, a list was sent up to the US to some recruiters, college recruiters. And the college recruiters shortlisted a few names to look into for future in the United States of America. Now, the reason why I'm calling these athletes' name is because when these athletes come in seeking to sponsor us to go on their journey, I would like the sponsors know that this thing is legit. It's not no fake or any single thing. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. Anissa Gibbons. We have Omara Walcott. We have Renetta Duncan, Trevon Prince. We have Akela Headley. Right? Now, these are some of the athletes that have been shortlisted to go to the recruiters list. So the transcript was sent and to the recruiters. So this is just a small batch that the recruiters are starting with. So once this batch goes through well, there will be the program would be sent to the restrictive district with the programs they need to do, how to pass the SATs and do the clearinghouse in order to get into college. So all of these programs is what the KMPA have been able to do. Also, the KMPA is working with the Buxton Youth Developers and the Trade School in Victoria. Yesterday, the KMPA was able to work with some of the youths that are not that academically inclined but have their hands-on in teaching them electrical and plumbing. So the KMPA is broad-based, and we look to develop young minds and get them off of the street from committing crime and teenage pregnancy. So it's something that the KMPA, so that's why we're looking for support. The KMPA is also part of the 100 Days Fest that has been kept in Region 3 at the Lenora, and also the first started Relay Fest on the east coast of Demerara. So all of these things we would like sponsors to support, because it's a worthy cause for our athletes. With these kids from the trade school and the Buxton Youth Developers, Mr. Saul and Robin Phillips need the sponsor support, because these two people, Mr. Saul and Mr. Robin Phillips, is doing a wonderful job with the children that were not so much academically inclined in the high schools that would have dropped out for some reason. They are putting them back into the system, teaching them and working with them. Some of these children went on to the University of Guyana even though they would have dropped out of high school. With Mr. Saul in the trade school, some of these children are not academically inclined, but I personally worked with them yesterday, teaching them electrical, how to wire up an outlet, how to wire up a switch, how to wire up a photocell. I teach them with a heat gun how to bend pipes. All these things I've done with these children from the trade school in Victoria. That is Mr. Saul. So we want sponsors, we want people to come out, some teachers to volunteer, even if it's an hour, to work with these children to bring their grades up, to help them to become somebody. We have the oil industry. All of these trade people will be needed in this country. I donated the NEC code book to the trade school in Victoria so that they can teach the children about the International National Electric Code from the United States of America. All of these things is what a KMPA is doing. There's a lot of things that people may not know what we've been doing behind the scenes, but now everything is up and running. We just would like the country to know exactly what we're doing. So again, we could be taking a few calls at 218-449-218-1032. I'll pass you over to Shaquille for him to give some of his words, because he's been around the KMPA and he would have come up through the school system from President's College, and he would understand. He would give you an understanding of what he have learned from being the vice president of the KMPA. Over to you, Shaquille.
All right, thank you, Mr. Medas. Good night, viewers again. What I would like to say is that we have to be more involved. Parents and students have to collaborate more, because, we in Guyana, as much as we love watching sports on television, locally it's not as supported. We got areas, in different areas in Guyana, Linden and Berbice and a few parts in Georgetown, like, really support their athletes. But what we need is more, integration into the entire school, club, and countrywide. Because some parents, as much as we try to make these opportunities available for students, would not allow them, because they may be fearful of what might happen, or fearful that the kids are going away from them, or they might be strayed away from their books in some sort of way. But we can assure you that all the opportunities we try to make available is to get your child or children the opportunity to have a degree, associate's degree, do something that is meaningful, and get it free through track and field. It doesn't have to be track and field. Your child can take part in whatever sport they like, but for our organization, we focus on track and field because this is what we build from the starting, and we would like sponsors and everyone to get on board, because it's not a message that we alone need to embrace. It's a message that the entire country can embrace, and we can move forward. And in a couple of years, we could get gold medalists. KMPA, well, what should I say? Last year, we went to the New Balance for the first time. The organization put together a team to take to the New Balance track meet in the Armory, that's in the United States. And I could definitely tell you that the atmosphere, the students, as much as they may not have been the top athletes there, the experience that they got and the experience that they came home and shared it with their friends and their family is none other. I saw some of them at Nationals this year, and because of what they did in the New Balance meet, they realized that they had to come home and step up their game, and they came home and dominated Nationals. So that type of competition and motivation we're trying to spread, and as much as we can, we will continue spreading that message.
Well, Shaquille is very, very much on point, and there is a few things that I would like to point out to some of the parents. Now, in Guyana, right, the average child finish high school at 15 years old, 15, 16 years old. Now, compare to the developed countries, the US and Europe. At 15 years old, a child is now a freshman in high school. That child have an extension of years at least 3 more years in high school, which they might finish at 18, 19 years old. Here in Guyana, a child finished school at 15 years old. That child don't know what they would like to be, what is the next move for them, how are they going to continue competing in track and field or competing trying to get a higher education. So if we have our girl children, by the time some of our girl children reach 18 years old, unfortunately, you know what I mean, some girls get pregnant, and we don't want a repeat of that repetitively. Our boy children now, you know, they start hanging out with the wrong set of friends. Next thing you know, they get themselves in trouble. They get caught up in the wrong activities. So with athletes now, what we're trying to do right now is extend the school life of these athletes and give them a chance to benefit in the long run. Every year the KMPA gives out 2 laptop computers to the top student athlete for academics and how they perform on the games. We also give out 5 desktop computers, flash drives, SD cards, and you know what I mean, t-shirts, and these athletes would have won trophies also. In the road race, the prizes goes from 1st to 10th place, not 1st to 3rd. So the KMPA have created, even introduced the turbo javelin to Guyana for the first time in 2017 at the Boxing Community Center ground, where we have the little children throwing javelin. Now we have all of these things that Anissa Gibson would have benefited from the turbo javelin, and she now is the national record holder in the javelin. So we have the young kids showing on the age, showing shot put, discus. So this is development. The KMPA is the only foundation that have a games where we have 1 day specific for field events, where all that goes on that day is shot put, discus, high jump, long jump, triple jump, right? That's all that take place on that day. Now we're trying to, I mean, track and field is big, and we don't concentrate so much on the field event. So we're trying to get some decathlon and heptathlon athletes, some children that may not be the top in every in the sport, but they can run a decent 100 meters, 200, 400. They can do high jump, long jump, throw discus, shot put, and javelin. Those children now that may not be the top athletes, they can actually become a very good competitive decathlon athlete or heptathlon athlete. And these are all of the talent that is there. Now, every year the Kmpa Foundation bring down a recognized coach to Guyana. This year we're hoping to get Glenn Mills to come. Or we're hoping to get Derek Atkins to also come here this year. But we are looking for sponsors to help with the bill in terms of the plane ticket, because every year when the KMPA bring down someone, we brought down here one of Jamaica's prominent coach, Michael McIntosh. Last year we brought down another prominent IAAF official and a head coach that he would have trained with